After those amazing customer reviews, I thought we'd provide one of ours. This is from a young person in the Bahamas. Circle, I hate your stinking guts. You make me vomit. You're the scum between my toes. Love, someone who loves Wi-Fi. There we go. Hey, listen, when we first started this adventure of trying to figure out how we could serve families as they were looking at it, there wasn't a lot of attention being paid to it, but now it is core and front and center in the discussion. So this is one of the articles that came out. One of the Circle users is Tony Fidel, former Apple, former Nest. He's quoted about how he uses Circle here. Mark's quoted. Oh gosh, even I was quoted in this article, which how cool is that to like belong in that little group of folks. But fundamentally, we put our kids in a fight that they have no ability to win. Silicon Valley, the experiences we've created online, defines this dopamine of happiness cycle, and we put these kids in there with brains that aren't mature enough to begin to understand or regulate those experiences, and it's hugely disrupting. We have an entire generation sort of fundamentally at risk because they're being drawn into waking up at midnight so that they can get the iPad, get online and play Minecraft from 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning because they just still haven't quite gotten enough of it yet. So what's the right way to begin? That's the problem. That's what we're really focused on trying to be able to help parents with. That started with our initial device, Circle with Disney. It's still in retail today. We've continued to grow out our customer base to over 250,000 customers now that are actively online using Circle every day. And that retail footprint continues to expand. We've launched operations in the Middle East, in Europe, in Australia, and continuing to build out from there. The big opportunity that's come for us, and I'm not sure anybody would ever write a Harvard business study that said, hey, listen, if you really want to be able to have traction in enterprises, go in and start with a consumer-based product. But that's been a little bit of our journey. So as we've continued to expand our retail presence and grow the business almost double year over year, we got approached by a number of large enterprises that have turned into relationships for us. So we launched last year on Netgear, so all of Netgear's products globally now have an opportunity among the products that we've enabled, which is about 7 so far on the path to 21 different Netgear devices that will be using the Circle with Disney software, offering that to customers. And when a Netgear customer starts to use our free portion of the service, right now we have a 21% conversion rate onto paid customers at $5 a month. So we have a very, very strong conversion to paid as we move those customers through one to the other. It also was one of our partners and company that participated in our Series A round is Sky in the UK, and we'll be launching totally integrated into their network fabric later on in the fourth quarter of this year in the UK. So when you have a router or a Wi-Fi station from Sky, you automatically have our software installed in it, and it's able to run including the mobility portion of what we do. That is really just the beginning for us. Kevin and I joked a little bit. I'm like, we have like, I'm not sure, I haven't heard anyone swear, but we have a holy shit moment coming out like in about a week or so that I wish I could tell you all about, but all I can say is stay tuned. And that we have a customer going live that will represent over 100 million subscribers in the US that will be integrating our software solution into their platform. That total pipeline where we've been selected or we've started the evaluations and the implementation planning represents 422 million subscribers in different parts of the country. So we've had a very, very broad adoption into an enterprise base where those enterprise customers are taking our software, enabling it, doing co-branded solutions with us, and taking our software to the market. It's really good for our business because it's going to drive scale at a level that we could have never done just on a direct-to-consumer level. And then the second thing is it kind of starts to get us out of the hardware business. I love our hardware business. This is not to replace our hardware business, but we're able to go in software as a service and as a platform. And so a big part of the investments our company's been making over the last 6 months is taking a lot of the logic and the software and the technology that we originally built into the box, moving it up into cloud, moving it up into very, very large-scale enterprise-type support solution. So I'm extremely optimistic about that continued sense. And the work that we've done over the last has really established us. So one of the things I did want to point out for those of you who know about Common Sense Media, they are the authority in the United States on what it means to be a great parent, and we are the only startup company in their entire portfolio that they've signed an agreement with to go to market. So eventually in our app, what you'll see is Common Sense's Media's recommendations about the kinds of experiences your kids should be having, where it's developmentally appropriate, will be integrated right into our app. And we couldn't be more excited about their partnership with them. So a little bit about what we're doing. We talked about the co-branding, the update, the product update, and then as part of one of our strategic relationships, we did begin to look at other funding. So we've opened up an additional $5 million of funding beyond what was in our Series A round. It came in broadly in terms of a safe investment. So we're out now just going and beginning to look at the right way to structure our Series B funding that's coming out very, very shortly. So that's being talked about. So that should be some other big announcements for us over the next 2 or 3 months. So I have 3 minutes left.